Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience. We discuss ways where we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for Branding the Experience, and here to talk about what can we learn about branding from the Food Network. Now, if you were with me in my content last week, you know I had a little fun with the opening of football season. And this week, I'm using a different analogy because, as surprising as it is for me and some people, not everybody likes sports or likes football. I don't understand it, but hey. But, including football, one of my wife's other passions, I'm fortunate that she loves football too, ain't I lucky, but one of my wife's other passions is the Food Network and cooking, which, my waistline can certainly attest to that, and I'll put her up against, any chef out there. But, given the fact that she is a foodie and loves to cook, this guy, he not only gets great food, but also kind of gets forced to watch some Food Network here and there. And so, wanted to have fun with that analogy of, what can we learn from the Food Network? Well, I think the number one thing, especially for a show like this, Branding the Experience, is that it's not just about the food. That whether you're trying to be a Food Network star, or you're creating your own restaurant, or even food truck for that matter, that you could have the best food around and have trouble driving customers to your business. Because if you have a terrible experience, I don't care how great the food is, because the food is only part of the experience. Case in point, I had my birthday a few weeks ago. Thank you if any of you want to send a gift. But my wife took me out to a really, really nice steak dinner, a place we've been to before, but hadn't been to in a while. And once I got there, I remembered why. And that the food and the steak, don't get me wrong, was one of the best. I really enjoyed the food. But the service was a little bit lackluster. It seemed like the tables were right on top of each other. It wasn't a bad experience, but definitely wasn't an outstanding experience. And all of the other pieces to my particular experience, I'll keep using that word because it's that important. Except for the food, everything else was lackluster. The only other thing that I could truly say about the experience that was top-notch was the wine, but we brought our own wine. So, one of the things that we can learn, too, from the Food Network, and I mentioned in my podcast, Cool Culture Corner, that, I enjoy watching the next Food Network star because a lot of them can cook, but they have a real hard time engaging with the audience. It's not just about the food. It's about the overall experience, the engagement. Do I feel like I got value for my time at the restaurant? Do I feel like I got value for my time watching the show? Because if you didn't, you're not going to tune in again. So that's why one of the reasons why I try to be as entertaining as possible on Branding the Experience. And that whole theory, also transfers to other businesses too. Some of the obvious ones are obviously hair salons and spas because that's disposable income. People aren't having an enjoyable experience because that's what they're going there for. They're not going to come back and spend big dollars. I mean, you can go and get your hair done, like me, I had a hair salon, or, just simply go to one of the franchise chains and be done with it for a little bit cheaper. But also for places like financial services, law firms, even dental offices and chiropractors. It's not just the service you're providing, or even the product, like a checking account or a certain contract if you're a law firm. It's about the overall experience. Do I feel not only that I got value, but am I leaving with a more enjoyable experience than I went in? Odds are, if you're going into a bank, a law firm, or a doctor's office, like a chiropractor or a dentist, you're not looking forward to that experience. So if you can leave with a better thought of the experience than what you had going in, that could be very powerful for those particular businesses, especially in terms of word of mouth and referrals, in terms of saying, you know, I really recommend that attorney. You know, he really made me feel comfortable in a tense situation. You know, I could really recommend that dentist or chiropractor. I was apprehensive about going in there, and he really listened to me and told me what was going on. And you know what? You know, it was never anywhere near that bad that I thought it was going to be. You know, that could be a positive thing for some of those folks. Or, you know, bank or a credit union. You know, I was really confused about my finances, but that personal banker or that member service rep, you know, really took the time to sit down and make sure that I understood. You know, that's an experience. So, you know, that's certainly something we can learn from the Food Network, and it's certainly something that we can learn from some of the positive experiences we have as consumers and try to emulate that and provide an exceeds expectations experience for all those you serve. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today, and here's hoping that you're branding the experience at a high level for everybody you serve. Take care.